when I was younger, you know, just starting out, I made short films on film, and you know, they were, you know, they costed more money than they do now. But I was able to get really good screenings for them, and I felt in many cases they weren't that great. But you know, I'd get them into sort of fairly high-profile film festivals. And I've made more films recently, and there's film festivals everywhere, but it's really hard. And I think the films I'm making are better, but it's really hard to get films on. And I'm not quite sure why that is, but I think it's just there is a tidal wave of content. Like there's just so much stuff out there. I think the big challenge these days is not so much to make things, but to get them noticed. Well, I mean, I think most people would say it's really important. The argument I tend to agree with is that, in a way, creativity is defined by the field that you're working in. One of the interesting things about filmmaking is that it's that really interesting mix of creativity and business. Like most films are made to work as like a piece of creative work, but also like an entertainment product. I mean, I know that there's a fine art area of filmmaking, but a lot of mainstream films have to work in those two dimensions, and getting that right is quite difficult and interesting. Well, I'd possibly describe myself as a failed entrepreneur, but I do think it is part of, I mean, it's connected with that issue of the importance of networking. So not only, like, I've been trying to make films over the years, but lots of people I know have been trying to make films, and I've watched their careers. And it's interesting, people who are successful often, I mean, I'm meaning this in the nicest possible way, but often they don't necessarily make better films, but they're very good at selling themselves. But the ones who, over a period of time, developed really good careers, what defined them was their ability to work with other people and get on with a whole range of other people, even really difficult people. I think being able to sell yourself to others is an important aspect of having a career in this area. Well, that's a very interesting area and a particular interest of mine, because most of my production work, even going back quite a long way, has been low budget and micro budget. But I actually think it's sort of a bit of a golden age for that approach to film and TV making. It used to be, I mean, one of the features of working in the film and TV industry 20 or 25 years ago was that you couldn't do anything unless you had $1 million. But these days, you can make very high quality work for an amount of money that a lot of people could access. So the barriers to actually, the financial and practical barriers to actually making high quality work have come way down. And I think that means there's been a blossoming of production in that sort of micro budget area, and I think that's fantastic. But with this kind of blossoming of ease of production and making series and delivering them on the web, and often getting, actually getting global audiences, it's really changed the sort of rules of the game, I think in a really good way. So there's all this stuff being made, and the main challenge is just trying to keep up with it.